What's up, everyone? In this episode, I tell you how I got a 1-star review. That's right, 1-star review, and it was completely my fault, and what I did to overcome it.
The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right, they're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener, it's so much better, and that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets podcast.
What is going on, guys? It's Tanner with Trade Thrive. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I got a 1-star review over the weekend, and it was 100% my fault. And I'm saying this humbly because I had to be checked. I had to have a little check there. I'll be honest with you. You know, when you get a bunch of great reviews and your company is sought after by people and there's a little bit of overconfidence that happens. Those of you who are at that level in your business, you kind of know what I'm talking about, where somebody calls you and they want a small job done and you're like, no, I don't need it. And you kind of come across like that. You have to remember, that they don't see it that way. The way that you communicate with people is how they perceive you. There are ways to go about certain things. Now, in this specific situation, here's what happened. I gave this lady a virtual quote through Facebook. We've been doing that a lot lately. It's been working out great. But part of it was she had a ton of wood repair that needed to be done. And I knew that my guy could do it. And I wanted the house painting job. So I thought, you know what, let me help her out. And this was really purely out of just helping. Let me help her out. Let me get my guy over to do an estimate on it. So it wasn't my supervisor who normally does the estimates. He's always on time. I didn't do the estimate. It was actually one of my painters who on the weekends, I let him take on handyman work, wood repair. He's great, phenomenal. But he was painting when I scheduled him to go, and I gave the lady parameters. I said, okay, he'll be there between 1 and 3 p.m. So the first day, I blew it. I completely forgot that I had told this lady because I didn't take it seriously. I didn't take it serious enough to put it on the calendar, to create a reminder. I didn't have anything helping me to make sure that I made this appointment because I didn't really value it enough. It wasn't something that was like super important. It's like, it's just like wood repair, that I have to have him go do. And obviously him working on the job, finishing a paint job is way more important than that. So I really didn't value it as much as I should have. So what happened is around 6:00 that night, she messaged me on Facebook and she's like, no one came today. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. So I messaged her back. I'm like, I'm so sorry. We will be there tomorrow. Like, no excuses. Please forgive us. Really just knowing like, dude, I can't do that to people. They have schedules. Next day rolls around. Got caught in the busyness of the day. This freaking wood repair. Okay. Busyness of the day came around and I gave her another parameter. Bad idea to give parameters. I never do this. Like if I do an estimate for a paint job, I'm telling you a time. I'm not giving you, okay, I'll be there between 2 and 4. But for some reason, I thought, this would be acceptable for this wood repair job. So I'm calling my guy. I called him twice that day. I said, hey, you got to go somewhere, between 1 and 3. You got to take care of it. And he was punching out a job. So I was like, what time are you going to be done? He's like, around 2. And then the lady came out and had a bunch of touch-ups that he had to, address, and it was taking more time. And again, getting caught in the busyness of the day. I told her between 1 and 3. At 3:07, I get the text message. Text message pretty much says, forget it. Oof. And when you get, I don't know if any of you guys have gotten that text message. And honestly, like I was on it that day. For some reason, I don't know why, I just didn't like call her and say, hey, I think I didn't want to because I didn't want like to deal with like that. I don't know, that pressure when I call, hey, he's running late, or I don't know what it was, but I knew that he was packing up, getting ready to go. And literally like 7 minutes after that 3 parameter I gave her, forget it. And then I just knew, like I turned on the gas. Like I was like, I'm sorry, please let us make this right. This isn't our standard. And I just started laying it on her. Like, I didn't even know this lady was going to write a bad review. And I played it as if she would have. And it's like, a lot of contractors have this ego that they don't want to admit they're wrong. And like, I don't care because I know that I'm thinking longevity. I'm thinking a bad review can cost me anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000. I don't know. I think that way. I think you should too, because any bad review, like people see a bunch of good reviews and then they see a couple bad reviews. What do? I go right to the bad reviews. I see what's the problem. If I want to know what the good stuff is, I know I have 100 reviews to read, but let me see what the two bad things were, and I will judge if they're legitimate or not. The review this lady left, and Google Business delays it, so I didn't see that she wrote the review when I didn't see that she wrote the review when I was like apologizing through text message. I'm like, I'm sorry, please let us make it right. This isn't our standard. He was on the way. And I'm just hammering it out. Like, I even waited 20 minutes and this is before I knew she wrote a review, because I'm thinking business owner mindset right now. Like, dude, you got to protect your business right now, because like I dropped the ball completely. I wasn't even like, I was expecting it, but I dropped the ball. And I'm like, listen, I just want to apologize again, and that's how you got to come across with people, because unfortunately in this business, you are at the mercy of these freaking reviews. But it's both good and bad. If you do a phenomenal job, those reviews can make your company. If you mess up, hey, that's the gamble we play. So I'm going to read you my response to this lady. I said, I just want to apologize again. This is not our standard. I know today was tight for your schedule. I should have let you know at 2:00 that he was running a little behind. Not making excuses. If you would be so kind to consider us next week, if you cannot find anyone else to come out and do a quote, I will make this a 100% priority and have someone out there first thing in the morning. This way, the day doesn't get ahead of us. Again, I'm very, very sorry and definitely understand how valuable your time is. Thank you for the opportunity. I really hope you give us a chance to make it right. So she's still upset. Like, you have to understand, like when people are angry, like they want to go to that review. They want to get revenge. Like this lady, and she's a nice lady. I'm not even going to talk bad about this lady. She was nice. Like when I gave her that painting estimate, she just had stuff to do between 1 and 3. She probably sat at her house freaking waiting for us, and I dropped the ball. And I am big on this, like be on time, call ahead. I dropped the ball here. So she said, I leave Tuesday to go out of town. Another reason I was trying to get this done. All it takes is a call to say you're running behind. But I now delayed things and I'm scrambling to get them done now. And I just like, it's just, this is what I teach. This is what I preach. Like, value people's time, communicate. Like that's my biggest thing. And I dropped the ball here. And then all I said was, I understand. Like after she said that. And then she said, I will see. And I'm like, yes. I do have another company coming out. Just to be honest, they gave me an actual time, not a 3-hour window. If you still want to do an estimate, I will entertain that one too, but I'm not waiting for 3 hours. And I'm like, thank you. Like at this point, I was just like grateful that she gave me a shot. And then I got the notification that she gave me a 1-star review, but I was just genuine the whole time. Like even if she wasn't going to give a bad review, I still wanted to make this right. Even if it was a small $5 wood job, I made the commitment. And that's something that you have to understand as a business owner. If you make a commitment, no matter the price, that's why it's important. Never go back on your price. If you price out a job and you decide that you underbid it, well, you better eat it. And that's the way I operate, because it's just not right. It's not right. And if I say I'm going to be somewhere, I got to honor that. If I say I'm going to give you a quote, even if she never hires me, I got to give her this quote. So I said, if you will give me another opportunity, I will give you a firm time, and it will be first thing in the morning. And then it was and then I had him go the next day at 8:00. So she said, thank you. And I'm like, man, that's cool. Like, she really was like willing to let me make it right. Like you can't like knock that. It's awesome. And again, at first glance, it's like, oh, this is a horrible customer. How dare she go write that 1-star review? She was right. I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't even respond to that. I really was going to, like, if she just left it there, which she winded up changing it, and I'm going to get into that in a second. If she would have just left it there, I would have been like, no excuses here. I messed up. So sorry that we missed this, and, we just got to get better. So anyway, so he goes at 8:00 in the morning. He does the estimate. I message her and I say, and I tell him, hey, dude, you need to go there and apologize. because first of all, it's your fault. You took too long. Second of all, well, it's my fault always, but he knew too. He's like, yeah, it took too long. So make it right. Anyway, so I texted her and I was like, look, would you please amend your review? Again, I really apologize, and I plan to exceed your expectations with our workmanship. Those reviews are really hard to overcome in this business. She said, thank you. Yes, I will. She changed it to a 3-star. I'm okay with that. We have a 3-star now instead of a 1. Here's the thing. If we do the job for her, hopefully I can get that from a 3 to a 5. I gave her a killer deal. Now I want to win this. Now it's a challenge to me. I want to get this 5-star, right? I want to win this customer over. But where I want to get to you about this whole thing is commitments are important. Communication is important. This was a reminder to me because I'm so good at communicating through automations, through follow-ups, through reminders, through all these things. Like, that's all I focus on. I'm on it, right? This is my job. I don't paint, I don't sell. So the very least I could do is be phenomenal at coordinating, scheduling, and communicating. Okay. With that being said, I dropped the ball here. I had a wake-up call. I had to remember how valuable this is. When you tell someone you're going to do something, do it. Follow through. Don't matter what level of it is, what level of detail it is. If it's just, a virtual quote, whether it's an in-person quote, whether it's a small wood repair, whether it's something that you don't value, the most important thing is the time. I always tell my salesperson, supervisor / Chris, I say, dude, if you're running late, I don't care. If you're running 5 minutes late, you get on that phone and you call them and tell them, bro. I mean, we don't want to start off on the wrong foot. And in this situation, I started off on the wrong foot with this lady. Even if it doesn't matter if you're running an hour late, you could be 3 days late. Just call and tell them so they can prepare. Do you know how much respect they have for you as a contractor if you get on the phone and you make that phone call and say, listen, I'm running about 45 minutes late, but I am on my way. No one's ever been like, you know what, just forget it, right? Unless they were really tied up and you knew ahead of time that their schedule was tight. So respect people's time. Make sure you make that uncomfortable call. I dropped the ball, but it won't happen again. I want to share that with you because it's so easy that it can happen to anyone. Something that I overlooked. I was like, don't worry about it. It was just one of those things. And then boom, it could have negatively impacted my company. Thankfully, I got it from a 1 to a 3. She hires me. You better believe it'll be a 5. So that's what I got for you guys today. Hey, listen up. Big announcement coming up. Please stay tuned to these episodes. Going to be announcing something great for the painting industry, for the roofing industry, for the contracting industry as a whole. I'm excited. This is something I've been working on for 3 years. And next month, it's going to be coming out. So I hope you're excited. If you want to know about it ahead of time, you want to kind of get some insider info, hit me up. I also want to make sure that anyone out there, if you want a free coaching session, I'd be happy to coach with you just over the phone, maybe 30 minutes or so. I will ask you permission to maybe use it as a podcast episode. If you don't want that to be the case, no problem. But definitely, a lot of the same questions that you probably have would help a lot more people. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. You can reach out to me on Instagram, email, tanner@tradethrive.com. You guys are great. Catch you later. Hey, I just want to take a second to thank you for joining me here on the Contractor Secrets podcast. I'm just going to take this opportunity to let you know that my passion is coaching people, helping people. I've changed my Instagram name to @contractorcoach. And I did that because that is my passion. I want to help you. So please reach out to me. If you have an issue going on in your business, send me an email, find me on Instagram, message me, and let's do a breakthrough session. I want to work through your problems in your business to help you get to that next level. And one thing that I always say is this, the difference between those that get over the humps and the hurdles in business is just a change in perspective. And that's what I plan to offer you. So get with me, message me, allow me to help you take your business to the next level.